this weird micro. It's really, really tough to be able to deal with this. So I really like this unit composition and this progression that Haypro is doing with the Banelings. I think it's so intelligent, and it's really going to allow him to contain the Terran for a good amount of time. For Terran to actually get out of this, he either needs, or she, excuse my gender bias, the player needs either Thors or, in my opinion, needs Hellions to be able to zone correctly with the Marines. And of course, like a good amount of Marauders. But, you know, it's so far away right now for Maka. I don't know what he's going to do to be able to get back into this.
So it looks like more barracks going down, a second factory going down. I mean, really, at this point, Maka is trying to scrape together any sort of unit production that he can. Haypro has taken the north, does have a queen up and running. Looking around, there doesn't seem to be too many Banelings out or any other units out for Haypro. He's getting another hatchery at his expansion, so that way he can use up the extra energy of this queen and really keep his macro going. At this point in time, it's really just Mutalisks for Zerg at this point in time. That one Thor does manage to finish. How are the upgrades coming from Maka? Ooh, is already getting +2. Always love it when a Terran gets the armory for a Thor, but then also uses it to take advantage of that +2 upgrade. We do see these Mutalisks just sort of bunching up in the main right now, and there's an infestation pit going down as well for Haypro. He's just continuing to tech up. Infestor's always a good choice against Terran when they get those bunched medic marine groups, and here's a nice little move by Haypro. Spreading the creep out is also going to take advantage of the fact that spine crawlers can uproot, going to advance those a little bit. Scouting SCV gets poked in the face by the spine crawler, and his eye gets poked out with the rest of his brain, so he drops dead right at the front gates. And Maka, amazingly, is pulled back and is closing the food gap. Oh no, where the hell are the rest of Haypro's units? He's trying to morph all of them to Banelings, but has surprisingly few. Maka might just do it in this attack.
Yeah, this is a pretty big attack. Holy crap. And
Banelings just barely got out of the way in time. More Banelings coming out. Some Zerglings getting roasted. Here come all the Banelings moving forward. Maka with a great split, but oh, those Banelings get roasted. The Mutalisks come in. They will be able to annihilate this Thor, and what started as a 130 versus 130 food battle is now 130 versus 85. Wow, Haypro really demonstrating the utility of the Mutalisk Baneling composition. Haypro, of course, already has that northern expansion up and running and is a little bit high on his money, but, you know, it doesn't even matter at this point. He is just playing so well, already getting the +1, +2 upgrades, already getting the Hive tech. Haven't seen any Infestors out of him yet because he just seems happy as can be with just Banelings.
yeah, definitely with his unit composition, I mean, like, who wouldn't? The Mutalisks just complement the Banelings so much, and now we see that Haypro is taking the 12 o'clock expansion. And one thing to note, Day9, that I really like about his play, Haypro didn't try to be like really I can't think of the word now.
Well, don't worry about it,
Greedy.
because we have a drop going on at the north end. Looks like Maka's sweeping around to the top end. He is going to be dropping to take out the top mid, but the top center expansion, will he be able to keep it alive? There is a Hellion, and they're doing serious damage to those Zerglings, and oh, whoops, forget I had any concern. There are now 20 Mutalisks just easily cleaning that up. And as we can see, Maka is trying desperately to macro. He has Zerglings pouring out of all these barracks. He's getting tanks from 2 factories, wants to have some way to snipe off those Banelings that are coming in, and at this point, Haypro has total control over this game.
Yeah, I can't see him losing it off of this. The Mutalisks alone are able to snipe off the Thor, and we can see Thor going down right now. I mean, he has him fully contained, can't really do anything. Haypro is just in a huge economic lead right now, and he's just sacrificing all of his Mutalisks for basically nothing.
Wow. Yeah, that was a little bit questionable, I would say. That was less than ideal at that stage, because really, those Mutalisks were what were keeping him alive, keeping him in control. And here's Maka with his trademark Medivacs. He's one of the few Terrans who aggressively uses Medivacs to drop, and has resulted in some brilliant comebacks. The Hive is done, Adrenal not going down, and oh no, huge drop, and not that many units at all for Haypro. Whoa, those Zerglings just spawned, and oh my god, those Zerglings spawned in the nick of time, did serious insane amounts of damage, completely wiping out that force. Haypro still in a somewhat advantageous position, but is not in the gigantic lead that he was at before. Maka really demonstrating the force of huge macro, getting tons of tanks, tons of marines, has some medevacs, not too many. He is mined out in his main almost, as well as at his natural, so he desperately needs to knock down this gold, but hasn't done it yet. He might just do some long-range mining. No, he does pull back to take it out. There are Zerglings heading towards that north end. Infestors are out, and with this hive tech, I'm very curious to see what sort of tech is going to be coming out of Haypro. He hasn't really gotten any hive level upgrades, not even the adrenal gland. What do you think the reasoning behind that is?
I think he just forgot, to be completely honest. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, an Ultralisk Cavern is out right next to the Infestation Pit.
Ooh.
So we are going to see Ultralisk. Ooh, I cannot wait. And he's evolving the Chitinous Plating.
Chitinous plating. A guy actually
sorry.
messaged me yesterday and just told me how to pronounce it, because I always said chitinous with my silly American hooked on phonics way of reading. But that is chitinous.
So we're going to see, a little bit of a drop going to the 12 o'clock position right now with 8 Marines inside, but I think this is going to be cleaned up pretty easily because those patrolling Zerglings are just going to vomit all over those little silly shenanigans.
Oh, and a fungal growth on the medevac snipes it. And look at Maka, such discipline, knows it's dead, unloads anyways, and continues to try to battle as best he can. And oh yes indeed, we have a Baneling Zergling Ultralisk combo out right now for Haypro. He is looking to be in beautiful, beautiful shape, but Maka does have a lot of tanks, although their damage was nerfed to 50. While in siege mode, they still are a serious threat to big numbers of Ultralisks, and weirdly enough, Maka, despite having a trillion unit-producing structures, is really high on money. He is pushing through the middle now, and this might be Haypro's chance to move in with Ultralisk. Oh my god, so many units! The fungal growth! Oh my god! He annihilated every single one of those Marines. That went beyond horribly for Maka. Look at the food differential. Haypro almost doubling Maka's food, and the supposedly worst Zerg unit in the game, the Ultralisk, storms through, and good game. Maka down 0-1. That was impressive play by Haypro. Wow.
I think there was only one swoop or 2 swoops of those Ultras, and every single Marine went down. That was insane.
Incredible.
Oh man, they're so handsome.
You know what? I used to not think so, but they are indeed very suave baller units. I loved the way that Haypro opened up with that one hatch play and just exploded forward with his macro, getting his expansion up before his Spire was even done, playing very defensively with his speed Zerglings, really getting speed just to make sure he could defend against those Reapers. And Maka was just cut in half, couldn't even get from his main to his natural expansion, and spent, what, an additional 700-800 on turrets that he didn't want to? I mean, is there any way to recover in that position as Maka, or was it just his early botch with the Reapers?
Well, the Reapers do affect you a little bit, but he really lost at the Mutalisk. That's where he got the decisive advantage. Haypro did. He got the decisive advantage there. What I think the Marines were just a silly way to progress out of the mass Marines is not good against Mutalisks just one-on-one. So you really want to be getting the Thors or even Marine Viking to complement yourself, because you just cannot scale with the Mutalisks to be able to deal with them cost effectively.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's so hard to deal with Mutalisks as Terran without Thors, because if you get too many Marines, you're basically saying, please make Banelings, I beg you, the fans will love it. And of course, we sure did, so at the very least, we get to see some entertaining games out of it. So we will be bouncing into Game 2 in just a moment.